You got to take care of yourself. No one else is going to do it for you. You know, when you're a kid, your parents look out for you. Hopefully. I know that's not always the case, but ideally, your parents look out for you. When you're older, you kind of chafe against it, right? If your mom or dad's always telling you to clean up your room or, do your homework or do any of the little things that theoretically should make your life better, you kind of chafe against that. And then when you're an adult, you're pretty much taking care of yourself. Now, maybe you have, a wife or a husband who looks out for you, or your parents still do, or your friends or your siblings. But generally, you got to take care of those things yourself, right? When you use a dish, you got to wash it yourself. Nobody's going to do that for you. You got to pay your bills. Those are the things most people manage pretty well. But it's the other little things you got to take care of too that just won't get done if you don't do them, right? If you're, kind of feeling down or just having difficulties, sometimes it's useful to take care of some of the little things you've put off. Not that it magically makes things better, but sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. I know when I let my room get messy, like way too messy, I have to just take some time and clean it up. And it never takes as long as I think it will. I always make it seem like it's going to take longer. But then when I go to do it, it's like, oh, this took 5 minutes. Maybe. It's pretty simple stuff that you just need to do, right? Right? You got to do your laundry. And, sometimes you don't want to. And I certainly get that. I absolutely hate folding clothes. And if you're the kind of person who can just live with piles of clothes in your room, then hey, all the more power to you. But for me, I got to fold them so I can put them up. And I really don't enjoy that part. But when it's done, it's done. And I don't have to think about it anymore or go, I got 3 days till I run out of clean clothes or whatever. Or dishes in the sink, I just do them as I generate them because they just need to be done. And if you do it that way, it never builds up. And I've found a lot of things, a lot of the little things you have to do just work better if you get them done once and then you just kind of work to maintain them. Even if you don't really want to, it's far better to do so because it's way better to spend, increments of maybe 30 seconds doing something than building up the effort to do 2 hours worth of house cleaning. And like a lot of things take a lot less time than they seem. I tend to keep sticky notes as lists of what needs to be done. And most things on those lists, like when I look at it, it definitely seems like, oh, this is going to take me all day. And then I'm done by 10 a.m. if I start at 9. Maybe, 11 or something. Where it's just like, oh, this was way less time intensive than I thought it would be. And that's always surprising to me. It's pretty easy to do those things, right? But you got to take care of yourself. You don't want to get sick, so you got to make sure you eat well, or at least well enough. You got to make sure you get enough sleep. You got to make sure you go out and you hang out with people. You don't just stay as a shut-in, and most people, I don't think, do that. But some people do. But it's like, eat good food, take care of your health, because it's a lot easier to not have the problems than it is to fix the problems. And that's one, I've been doing. I go for more walks now. I try to move more during the day. I try to eat better. Don't always succeed at that, but I aim to do so. Try to waste less money so that I have more when I need it. Or at least more to invest. So that hopefully, I don't have to work until the day I die. That might be nice. There's other things I want to do other than working, so I try to work on those in the evenings to either make sure I want to do those things. You don't want to get to retirement having always wanted a boat and finally buy one and then find out you don't like it, right? Or anything like that. You don't want to retire to the countryside and find out you love the city, or vice versa, right? You don't want to think, I want to cruise the world and then take your first cruise at 65 when you finally retire and realize you get seasick and don't get better and never get your sea legs and it's just misery, right? So you want to try these things. You want to dip your toe in before you go all in, but you also want to do them early where you can really enjoy them, right? It's one thing to go into your, retirement years if you ever get there. And I know that that is a topic that comes up rather frequently in the media these days, of how it's getting pushed back and more people are having to work when they thought they would be retired. But you don't want to get to the point where you're older, and you want to do these things and you never did them. And so you don't have quite the skills to get there, or you don't have the ability to do so. That, whereas if you had started younger, you might have those abilities. You also don't want to wind up being, 60 or 70 and realizing I wanted to always do this, go rock climbing or I don't know, ski, and never did, and I'm a bit too old to learn now. Right. I mean, you don't want to wind up in that position, but you also want to enjoy the life while you're here. And, spending time to take care of the little things so that they don't ever become big things, and spending the time to make sure that those things are squared away as best you can, not being anal retentive or OCD about it, but just, taking care of the things is pretty good. Nobody else is really going to. Nobody else is going to make you get up in the morning to go to work. Nobody else is going to, make sure you eat when you're hungry, right? That's you. You're going to do that. So make your life easier for yourself by taking care of those things in a manner that benefits you going forward. Right? So don't just eat fast food, eat some healthy food. Don't just eat, sugar and give yourself diabetes. Take care of yourself, get some exercise, eat good food, get good sleep, do things you enjoy, because you have to look after yourself and nobody else will. Well, that's all I have for this week. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you next week with another video.